Barbara Lorraine. I'm the cash cow. I'm the cash cow girl, and this is Cash Cow Girl on Air. You can find more information about us at www.cashcowgirl.com. Today, and this is Money Monday member meeting, where we have ongoing training in making more money, and an opportunity for members to send me questions in advance, and I will then answer them on the show. So look forward to that later on. In fact, it's a really good question about making more money now. So today's show is about building your business and your income with proven plans. And as always, we have an organized process for looking at this subject. So we'll begin with the question, when it comes to building your business and your income, where specifically do you want to end up? So it makes sense to take a little time and think of, well, I've got it outlined here. How much more money do you want to make? If you're making $250,000 now, do you want to double your income? What is it that you want to do in financial terms? Another kind of a goal that you might want to do is to get more numbers of customers or clients, or more followers, more fans, more people who are on your email. And so that could be another measure for you. Another thing that I think people should always look at is what are you going to do in terms of ending up to build passive income, which is one of the routes to get financial freedom. Financial freedom being that income you make covers all of your bills so that you don't have to work anymore. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. You're free. You have total choice. Passive income is one of the ways to get there. And looking at your exit strategy also. Are you working towards being able to sell your company at some point? Do you want to have it developed in a way that you can pass it on to maybe one of your heirs or somebody already in the company? What is your exit strategy? So thinking in terms of where do you want to end up? As the statement I make in almost every show, the quote from Stephen Covey, which makes so much sense and is totally how I operate, is begin with the end in mind. Where do you want to end up? Then take and put some thought into that in those different categories. And to remind you also, after the show, you'll be able to get the outline of this presentation sent to you by email. If you're one of the members, you will be receiving that automatically. All right, so you look at where do you want to end up. The next thing to look at is where are you now? This is really simple to do, especially look in terms of how much money are you making now? What's your reach now? Where are you in terms of you maybe have thought of doing a book or programs or webinars or intellectual property products to develop passive income, but where are you now with those plans? And in terms of your exit strategy, you might have thought of that before. Where are you now in regard to where you want to end up? And then, obviously, how are you going to get from where you are now to where you want to end up? Some people call that the gap. So what steps are you going to take to get there? What actions are you going to take? What strategies, what tactics, what methods are you going to use to get to where you want to end up? Oh, and I just noticed I forgot, I'm Barbara Lorraine, and this is Kathy Hash, although her name might change. She's kind of the mascot of the Cash Cow U project and company. Okay, so in looking at the steps that you're going to take, how you're going to get from where you are now to where you want to end up, what are the resources that it will take, depending on, especially in the timeline from where you want to end up, odds are you're going to have to gather additional resources. Maybe a lack of resources is why you have not yet taken steps to get where you want to go. And look at resources in a very broad sense. What are your personal skills, abilities, expertise? What kind of cash do you have on hand, and will it take to implement various strategies? Cash is certainly an important resource. What kind of team are you going to need, or who are you going to have to outsource to with expertise or the time to get things done? Is there equipment or gear or know-how? Are there classes? You know, what is it that it's going to take to get to where you want to go? So that's one important consideration. And then, of course, getting where we want to go financially depends on people buying stuff from us. So we need to take a look at our market and also the 3 no's that usually stop people from buying from us. So the market is where you're going to get your results from, isn't it? So we're going to spend a lot of time now talking about the market and different methods for overcoming the 3 no's. To remind you, those 3 no's are: 1, they don't need what you have; 2, they can't afford what you offer; and number 3 is they don't believe that you can actually deliver the results that they're after. So let's look at each of these in terms of steps for you to take to get the results that you want. Now, often when I go to a networking meeting, they'll go around the room and they'll ask people, oh, who's your market? And people will often say, everyone. Well, boy, it would take a pretty big shotgun in order to hit everyone, if indeed that is your market. And even if everyone could use your product, who are the people who feel already that they need and want your product, who already can afford your product? You know, you can't always sell people. If somebody has a limited budget, it doesn't make sense to sell them on setting a priority on your product. A lot of people are already ready. They have the budget. They're already thinking that they need and want a solution like what you provide, not necessarily haven't thought of your solution, but they already feel the need. They already have the budget. Doesn't it make sense, though, then, to go after those people? So number 1 is they feel that they don't need your product. So as you look at the market, consider who are the people who do need your product. If you're selling roofing and someone is a renter, guess what? Yep, everybody needs a roof over their head. But is everybody a prospect for you? Absolutely not. Only homeowners are. And realistically, homeowners with a budget, looking at, can't afford it. Okay, so, all right, that sounds great. Narrow down your market by who needs it and who can afford it. And then the question is, how do you find those specific people? Well, there are a few ways. In today's world with internet marketing, one of the simplest, easiest, and pretty cost-effective compared to advertising methods of the past You can, with online advertising, Facebook, Google, and more, you can segment and target who you're putting ads in front of. That makes it a pretty good chance of getting in front of those people who do need. You can segment a market. If you have a product for moms, some kind of baby product, you can get in front of moms. You need them to be able to afford it. You can get in front of moms who have X number of amount of income, or live in a particular area of town, a zip code that would be known to be higher end. You can get yourself in front of these people with online advertising. A lot of people are very nervous about that. I would say it's probably because they're just not used to it. You know, in years past, people would know, hey, you need to have a yellow book ad. If you're in business, you need to have a yellow book ad, and people would be used to paying for that. Well, now it's a new world, and it's an internet world, so I'll ask you to open your mind, and you'll discover it's not as expensive to advertise to your market, to people who need what you want and have a budget for what you want, in a way that will more than cover your advertising costs. I mean, that's just a part of business. Is what's the old saying, nothing happens until something gets sold, and if they don't know about you, they can't buy you. And if the right people who have a budget, who have a need, and have a budget for what you offer, guess what? They're going to be buying somewhere. Might as well be from you. And a lot of searches are done online. You know, a lot of searches are done online. Now, there's another way that you can zone in, target your market, and you can buy lists from companies that put together lists that are sliced and diced a lot of different ways to develop a list with exactly the kind of prospects that you have. And as long as you're covering your advertising cost with what you're selling, then they're going to buy from somebody. You got to get in front of those people. Also, a lot of people like joint ventures and affiliates. I do. And the great thing about that is that you aren't paying for advertising up front. In a joint venture, you're saying, okay, you have this list of people. I have my products and services. Will your list be interested, and will they have a budget for what I offer? As long as your joint venture partner's answer to that is yes, then it's a good win-win. That said, usually the percentage that you pay those joint venture partners or affiliates often then equals more money than if you had actually paid for the advertising. It's less risky because it's paid for performance, and it makes sense to maybe have a mix. Have some joint venture people, don't rely entirely on them making it happen for you, and then also work with a list company to get you in front of people, and also doing advertising on the internet targeted to exactly your market. So these then become non-issues, don't they? You don't need to be in front of people who do not need or cannot afford what you offer. And then, of course, your response with that, your conversions, your success rate with that will depend on a few things. On the ad that you put together, on the opt-in page that you put together, and all of those other marketing elements, which are always a part of you getting in front of your market. So this presupposes that you're going to do those elements correctly. And the two other crucial elements is, okay, so once somebody says yes to you and you delivered your products or services, do an awesome job. Deliver beyond their expectations. Thrill your customers. They'll tell a friend and they'll come back for more, and it's just you're delivering high quality results for your market is key to your overall success. And the other piece of that, it's not just enough to deliver service in a way that you create people as raving fans. It's really good and easy in today's world to stay in touch. Staying in touch can be as simple as having them on an email list and keeping in touch with them with email. Contrary to a lot of what people think, people do. Email follow-up still is the most effective and cost-effective. And of course, also there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's a whole host of other social media sites that you can be staying in touch with people on, depending on where your people hang out. Where are they most likely to see you, so that your follow-up actually works. Okay, so we talked about the number one reason people say no is they don't need what you have, and we've said how to overcome that. The number two reason is they can't afford what you have, and we've seen how to address that. Now, the number three reason that people don't buy from a particular provider is they don't believe that you are the right one for them, or they don't believe that your solution is actually going to deliver in the way that you say that it will. Or they've done something like this before, they've had a bad experience, and on and on and on. There's a gazillion different reasons why someone might not believe that you are the best solution to their problem. They have a problem. So they are motivated to find a solution, depending on what the problem is. They might be very motivated to find the solution, but then there's things that you can do to make it easier for prospects to believe you. One is to share testimonials, case studies, to show proof it's worked for other people. The thought being, then, hey, if it worked for these other people, then maybe it'll work for you too. A classic example of this would be with a weight loss product. And what do all weight loss products do? They show the before and after. Before John started with this weight loss program, he was 100 pounds heavier. He had tried this, he had tried that, nothing worked. And then, wow, with our weight loss program, he lost 100 pounds and he kept it off, and he was never hungry, and on and on and on. And, that does have an influence with us. However, we've been around the block before. We know that just because John had great success does not mean that we will also have that kind of success. In fact, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, requires that when making claims of different kinds of products and services, that the providers make a disclaimer, something that says, oh, John's results are not typical, or, something like that. And people know, hey, have you ever been on a diet? Have you ever tried to lose weight? Have you ever jumped on some latest bandwagon and found that, hey, John said he was never hungry. Well, I'm starving. I'm ready to eat the paint off of the walls. So even with those testimonials, we can be skeptical to the point of not believing and not saying yes. A case study is a different variation on a testimonial. We actually go through an entire story. Here's a whole process that it went through, the challenges, the strategies and tactics that were used. And as somebody sees that, as a prospect looks at that case study, they can start saying, oh yeah, okay, so this particular tactic that was being used there, I don't believe that that would work for me. But, you know, in a case study, there's often many elements are being presented. Many elements of the solution are being presented. Plus, it also offers transparency about what is involved in the solution that you provide. Okay, so testimonials, case studies, and other people's comments. Now, this is a little different than a testimonial, and it goes kind of hand in hand with building authority. For example, I do a lot of writing, and now I have it on my plate to start actually writing articles and submitting them for CNN, for Forbes, for Huffington Post, for Inc., because that will expand my reach. I'll be reaching thousands of more people, and it will also lend credibility that, oh, okay, I've always thought that Barbara was a pretty smart cash cow girl, but oh, now CNN also thinks she's great. They're publishing her stuff. So when others comment, we always see this on books where a famous person will say, oh, this is must read, or for a movie, oh, if you only see one movie this summer, this has got to be it. Those kinds of comments. And then building your authority by getting the word out with other trusted sources is one way to do that. Using the online publicity, using offline publicity. It helps to get on television and radio. It helps to be published on other people's blogs. As you know, on my regular show, I invite guests onto the Cash Cow Girl on Air to talk on a variety of subjects. That helps those people build their authority, while at the same time, it helps position me as someone who is a source for helpful information, not out of my own head, but bringing in other really helpful resources as well. So it's a win-win-win, building your authority. Another way to build your authority is, one of the quickest and easiest ways is YouTube videos. And as you're experiencing right now, Google Hangouts on Air. You don't need a film crew. You set up your background, get your hair and makeup together, get your branding into the picture, and there's a few things to learn. I'll tell you, when I first started, I was freaked out. It took me forever. I don't know. It was just here. I had a mental block against the technology that is Google Hangouts on Air. But once I started actually doing it, you say, oh, what did I wait so long for? It's really pretty easy every step of the way. And they keep adding improvements. And I strongly recommend Google Hangouts on Air. In fact, I'll either be having guests on the show who can help you learn more and encourage you more to use Google Hangouts on Air, or hey, I'm developing my own expertise. I might do a segment on that all by myself. So, case studies, testimonials, comments from others, especially that are known to you, that are impressive, that are known to your market, that are impressive, and working to build your authority. which is an umbrella term over a lot of stuff: publicity, online and offline, building your own products. You know, that I have a series of webinars. Some of them are free, but most of them people pay for, and products and services, and they're developed often into do-it-yourself programs. Well, I must know what I'm talking about if I'm doing a whole program that's 8 hours long with hours of follow-up, helping people on a variety of different subjects getting to where they want to go. Builds my authority. When you work on developing your own product, it also elevates you. And you know, we've mentioned joint ventures and other opportunities. People are already approaching me and saying, "Oh, Barbara, we could do this together. We could do that together." And of course, for those clients that I'm perfect for, who want to build their own product, who want to get more publicity, build their authority, I do this for myself. What I do for myself is totally visible. And now I'm not talking about myself. I'm saying when you do it, yes, it takes some time. And as we already said, nothing happens in business until something gets sold. You can't sell them if they don't see you. They can't buy from you. And then from a philosophical standpoint, I really believe that people in business most often are passionate about the products and services they offer. If you don't get in front of people, if you don't do the work of helping people believe you, and not just believe that you can help, but to believe that you are the very best solution on the planet for them, then they're going to sit with their problems. You have the solution. That's not nice to make people sit with their problems. To take the steps to get in front of your market and to do what you must in order to help them believe that you can solve their problems and you are the very best one for them to choose. Now, there's another element of making it easy. Excuse me while I go through my note cards here. Make it easy for people to see that they do need what you have, that they can afford it, and that they believe that what you have will make a difference. It's not all about these are more marketing functions, although when it comes to the product development, that's not about your marketing, is it? Sometimes it's about your sales funnel. And that's the way that I think of it, and so that's the way that I'll explain it. That's the way that I'll explain it here. And you know what, about the sales funnel. So for your business, whatever your product or service is, whether it's you have a brick and mortar business and you have a physical product that you offer to people, or an intellectual property product, or a service like an attorney or medical or whatever, no matter what your product is, at the time that they make that initial purchase, is there something else that they would like to also have that you can make an add-on sale? Not like you're pushing it on them, but it's something that, you know, if you stay in touch with them, maybe a couple of weeks later, they say, "Oh yeah, I would like to have that also." I'll use Cash Cow U as an example. When people buy any of our products or services at any level, we include at least 1 month of our Cash Cow Girl membership. which is what this meeting is. With the membership, you get training, education, and stuff that I talk about, a lot of things that other people don't, based on my different background and experience and expertise. And it's always my commitment that each and every week, a person who either joins us live for the meeting or gets the video on demand after the fact, because we like to make it convenient for people to get the value that we have to offer, that then is an add-on product. We start people with a free trial, but then it is $100 a month. So we want to give a minimum of $400 in value for a month to make that more of a, yes, not only do I want that, and gee, they've made it so that, hey, I can't always make that meeting on Monday when it's at Barbara's convenience, but she makes it where the video of the program is available to me at my convenience when I want it. So that's an example of one of my add-on products, and I make it easy for people to say yes because we give it to them for free. Then there can be then what's next. And again, I'll use my products as an example. So say somebody first, they're buying a website from me. And then the next natural thing is for them to look at their follow-up. Do they need help with their sales funnel, or with other elements of their marketing, with their social media marketing, or their organic search engine optimization? Or I think a really great place for people to start as soon as they have an internet presence, otherwise known as a website, is to get your follow-up systems set up with email and to look at your sales funnel to make sure that when people want to buy from you, you've then got something for them. So an add-on product at the time of the original purchase. A next natural product that if they needed product A, odds are they're going to need product B. Present that to them. Make that a part of your method and your process. Don't let people slip through the cracks. Make it a part of your sales funnel. And then what else is there that you offer? And then what else is there? Of course, these products and how it works out and stuff depends on what kinds of products do you offer? What kinds of problems are you solving for your market? Who is your market? And then in looking at the sales funnel, it's also about the price points and about your market. So next, let's talk about your market segments. And I'll use as an example Cash Cow U. Now, one of our flagship things, one of the things that we do better, more importantly, in a better way than I believe anybody else on the planet is, oh, let me show you this book here, is, as according to my soon-to-be released book, Boom or Bust, how boomers can still turn their expertise and experience into financial freedom. So in terms of my market segments, I'm writing a book on this one. That gives you a pretty good clue. My personal marketing efforts are almost exclusively on baby boomers, on business people, and on professionals. Why? Because they have the strongest, let me see if I can find my note card again. They have the strongest felt need for what I offer. A lot of baby boomers have been put into forced retirement and are not financially prepared with the economic downturn. A lot of baby boomers lost their investment, they lost their retirement nest egg, or it decreased dramatically. They lost their house. They lost their job. They can't find another job. And with what we do, we are in a position to help them start over again, not from nothing, from a strong foundation of experience and expertise. Where, how was it that I said that on the book? Boy, I did a good job of that. To still turn their expertise and experience into financial freedom. So that's my main market in terms of business people and professionals. They're usually also baby boomers. And guess what? I are one, which makes it easier for those people to relate to me, because I've faced those similar challenges and done something about it. Now, in addition to that, and let me preface, I also am prepared to speak to all of these other markets because they can all use more income. We can help people build a part-time laptop business. We provide an earn, and I'm not selling you now. I'm cash cow you. I'm just saying, here's an example of how you can look at the market. Here's my main market. I won't be paying to advertise to these other market segments. However, I have affiliate relationships, and I'm open to more affiliate relationships with all of these market segments, because what we offer with our education and all of the rest of it is a really, really, really great solution. Let me speak for a moment about millennials. It's a big and I could go on and on about each of these markets with the millennials. They're going into debt. They've already got big debt, and they're looking at, in order to get a good job and get a good income, they have to go into big debt for their education. Well, the internet, and with my training and coaching and encouragement, there's an alternative to that. For a fraction of what they would spend at a university, they're going to learn, as long as they apply themselves, they're going to learn skills that they can translate into a truly viable income, make their own career, set their own hours, set their own, none of the job that's just over broke and sitting in traffic, driving to work, and all of that stuff, which millennials are kind of anti all of that anyhow. So we provide a great alternative, but that's not my main market. I do not personally advertise to that market, but I have joint venture partners who do. So see how but in looking at each of these markets, and you know what, a lot of it is driven by my heart, and that I feel for each of these market segments. So I feel compelled to be helpful, to provide to create the materials and stuff that my affiliates need in order to get in front of the right people, see who the right people are, and build their, overcome that hurdle of not believing. So I provide that for those people. Big decision for me. I could have just said, hey, here's my market. And sometimes it looks like these existing people, business people, existing professionals, you know, sometimes they look like that. But here's my real sweet spot market. I could have just left it. Could have left it at that. So there's an evaluation that you need to go through in terms of your products and services. And if I didn't have affiliates in these markets, I would not be working with them. There would not be enough hours. I'd have to have a huge team in-house, you know, somebody devoted to each one of those markets. I'm not going to do that. So you have to look at your own situation, your business, your resources, your time, your expertise, and your inclination to serve that particular market. Will that market see you as relatable, as credible? Will they believe that you can help? Okay, so that's another way to look at bridging the gap. So it's about your market in terms of those three things that people say no to. Remember what they are? They don't need it, they don't have the budget, they don't believe, and then for each market, there needs to be work done to speak specifically to the belief, lack of belief that that particular market has. And now in terms of a sales funnel in terms of your products and pricing, that's another element of how you make it all work. Again, it's always know your market, study your market. How do you know your market? Keep your eyes open, keep your eyes open. Do research, ask people, and the internet is a wealth of information about what various markets care about, what their problems are, and then put together your product offerings, your service offerings. A lot of people say, oh, well, this is what I offer. I said, that's in the world according to Barbara, that's backwards. Look at what others want from you and give them that, not just in the product itself, but also in the price points. So again, using my own business as an example, but for a lot of intellectual property businesses, for a lot of professional services, this can be, well, once you start looking at creating products, this can be a really workable model, because this is what a lot of people expect and want. Good, bad, or indifferent, the best place to begin is with something free. When people ask all the time, well, how am I going to build my list? Okay, I get in front of, I do that as I get in front of those people, then I need to get them on my list so that I can follow up with them. How am I going to give them an incentive to get on my list, give me their contact information so that I can convert them into an actual dollars and cents sale? In today's world, there's a strong expectation, give them something free. And I don't mean just anything. I mean, give them something awesome for free. If you're seeing this video as a sample of our membership meetings, notice that I'm not holding anything back here. I mean, it will be limited only by the time that we have together. Other than that, and I put a whole bunch of stuff out there for free. And people also want to buy stuff from me. Good thing. Okay, then now I already mentioned that people pay $100 a month for the membership. with us. Now, the membership isn't just these meetings. They also get listed in our directory, which helps their search engine ranking, and just, always pile on, give way more value than what people are paying for. Remember, I mentioned that although people are paying $100 a month for the membership, in the meetings alone, it's my intention to deliver $400 worth of value, $100 each week, in addition to the other stuff that they get as members. And there are also programs that we offer for $100, and I did that specifically to fulfill what some of the bloggers who are affiliates of mine, they want a $100 product. That's the price point that their people first want to say yes to. They don't want to start out with a $500 product. It's much more comfortable. And then once people see what they get when they pay $100 with one of my programs, and this is the same, when I'm talking about Cash Cow You and what I do, I'm talking about you, what will work for you. These are proven plans, proven methods for what works with people now. There's a saying, oh, you get what you pay for. Well, these days, think about the huge, enormous value that you get for free and for not so much money. Google Hangouts on Air is free. Oh my gosh, thank you, Google. YouTube is free to use. Google searches are free to use. So we get way more than what we pay for. We give way more than what people are paying for. So we offer a $100 program that is 8 hours long. For $500, no, I'll take that back. I think that's 2 hours long. For $500, the program is 10 hours, and it's not information only. It's a workshop. People roll up their sleeves and they actually begin implementing what they've learned. That is priceless, priceless. And then beyond that, we offer, and we have done for you services that we begin at a kind of a starter kit level for people who have limited budgets, because I don't want anybody not being able to afford to have the quality of insight and expertise that we lend to people's projects, period. Just because somebody can't afford our $2,000 service, I want them to still get big value. Okay, then we have $2,000 services, and we have programs, services that are $20,000, $50,000, and more. So there's something for everyone. So and that makes my life a little more difficult, because I have to then be in charge of making sure that all of those various products and services are not just available, but that each and every one of them are awesome, are remarkable, irresistible, awesome. In today's world, when for those of us who have really high standards, who really do deliver the best, boy, it's a great time, because although consumers are so spoiled with so much free stuff, they also can see what's great and what's not. They're highly educated. And when you don't hold anything back, when you just rock, people know it. And they become your advocates, and tell a friend, and they make your whole sales process easier with your sales funnel. Now, we mentioned a little bit in the sales funnel the sign up. Well, and let me mention, on my website, I have a 10 video series about landing pages, which is also known as lead capture pages. So I'm not going to talk about that much here or anywhere else because I've already covered that subject in pretty great detail. And you can find that at cashcowgirl.com. Look on the top navigation bar for, I think it says free resources. Look down for the lead capture or lead pages 10 video series. And okay, so we've talked about the market. We've talked about how you price things. Don't think just of, well, this is how much it costs me to put this together. Of course, you have to have your costs covered, but try as much as you can to give people things at the price points that they want per your market. See, in today's world, as a provider of products and services, you are in operation for them. You work, in corporations, they say that the CEO works at the pleasure of the board. I don't know why they say it that way, but I love words, and I just think that's just a nice way to say things. You are in business at the pleasure of your market. So switch your thinking. Don't think of, oh, this is what I do. This is what they need. This is what they want. How can I give them that solution? But also, how can I also give them that in the form that they want, in the price point that they want? Do they want a live seminar? See if you can do that. Or if not, give them a live webinar. And if they can't, if people complain, well, I can't make it at that date and time, make it on demand. They can still get it. Technology makes so very, very much possible in overcoming. They don't need it. Don't worry about it. Plenty of people do. Get in front of them. They can't afford it. Don't worry about it. Plenty of people can. And in fact, for me and a lot of other people, I give away a lot. And there are people who do have the budget for me, and they're going to want more of my time. They're going to want me to dig in deeper. They're going to want me thinking about their project while I'm out walking around the lake in the morning. They don't want me thinking about somebody else. They want me thinking about them. They want my thinking cap on for them. And there are those companies who they have the budget for that. So don't worry about it. Be generous. And in terms of karma, it really does come back to you, and it certainly is a very nice way in terms of how you feel as a provider, as a professional. It feels great to be serving more people. I think it was Zig Ziglar who says, the more you are helping other people get what they want, the more you get what you want. And then it just stands to reason that the more you're helping volumes of people get what they want, helps you get more of what you want. So don't think well, you can, but to me, branding, getting your brand up. Let me use an example here. Jeff Ferris, the author of The 40-Hour Workweek. He's awesome. For one thing, he's really cute, isn't he? Because he's a nerd who also works out like crazy and, teaches people to be more healthy. And author of The 4-Hour Workweek. So he's totally into turning your time into greater productivity so that you can enjoy life more. Who doesn't love that? He wants the attention and interest of everybody on the planet. He's got books. You can buy his book for $29.99 or whatever on Amazon. That's not going to make or break him. But even if all that you're a candidate for is buying his book, you'll talk about him anyhow. And then, the more people who are using your products and services, even when they're free, they can be spreading the word about what you do, so that they can be telling somebody in their circle who does have a huge budget to be that more higher end client for you. So, that's my 2 cents worth. One of the case studies that I'm working with right now, actually, this is a partnership that I have formed with the project Speak and Succeed Now. I want to use this as some examples of who the market is for that particular project, so that you can see the thinking process is different depending on what your product is. Even though Cash Cow U is an intellectual property business, Speak and Succeed is an intellectual property business. However, number one on the list of market is attorneys, and specifically trial attorneys, salespeople, business people, people who do live presentations, business people or professionals who are working at building their authority by speaking on television, on radio, on blogs, doing their YouTube videos and more. They are video or audio presentations. That's the market. Similar to my market with Cash Cow U, isn't it? But not the same. As you do your own analysis of who's your best market, really dig in and think of, for whom can you make the biggest difference? For whom can you invite them to look at, where are you now and where do you want to end up? And that you can show them how, hey, with our product and service, we help you cut down how long it takes. We make it easier. We give you a greater sense of confidence that we have the roadmap that will lead you to the promised land. And then in that sales process, yes, you're showing them, but you don't have to convince them. It becomes crystal clear from where they are now to where they want to end up. Your unique set of expertise, experience, follow through, and the rest is going to deliver them what they want. And back to the Zig Ziglar quote, when you help other people get what they want, what do you get? You get what you want. And so let me, very quick commercial here at the end of this meeting, at cashcowgirl.com, or you can go to cashcowu.com. We offer do-it-yourself programs where you can learn how to do stuff for yourself in order to build your business and build your income. And we also offer done for you, all the way from writing books, creating webinars, creating programs and products, and books and products. And okay, so in this particular member meeting, we've been talking about a path, a process to look at how specifically, what are the steps that it takes for you to build your business and to grow your income. And we've covered those steps. kind of in general because this isn't one-on-one. However, if you're a member, you certainly can email me your questions. And I did get an email from Joy, from one of our members, and she wants to know, seeing that this is the subject that we were going to be talking about today, she said, Barbara, I want more money now. Okay, I like the idea of building my business and building towards more income by building my authority and all of the rest of that stuff, but I want more income now. And I'll bet that there are others of you who would also like to build more money right now. So how does that happen? Right, you look at your sales funnel and see, what do you have right now to offer to people? And odds are, if you think back on how you have worked your sales process, if you have not already offered in a serving them kind of way, if you have not yet offered your next product, or you have not offered your what else product, then you can go back to those people. But don't go in to sell them. Always, always, always be thinking of, what do they need and what do they have a budget for? I mean, mostly, what do they need? Which of their problems have you not yet solved? And just, send them an email, make a phone call, even better. Post on your Facebook if they're going to your Facebook. Get the word out about how else you can serve them. It's all about them. There are people that you have not yet served. That's where you go right now. So within your own community, within your own list of people. And so that's for first, go to people who are already your clients, who have already bought from you. Second, go to people who are already on your list. They already want to hear from you, so let them hear from you. Maybe you can put together even of something that if they didn't buy yet, give them another chance. Say, or ask them first. Curious, you've been on our list and we're curious. What are the challenges that you're facing right now? Make that little baby step first, and then whatever their challenge is, do you have a product or a service to rock their world, to solve that problem? Okay, so it's your list, it's your client list, your followers or fan list, and then look at prospective joint venture partners, especially with people who are already using their list, that their people are already used to saying, hearing Justine say, to her people, wow, I just heard about this and I thought it might be a perfect fit for some of you, and here's why, and here are some tips that Cash Cow U gives, and if this makes sense, you might want to check out her free webinar first, which can be delivered to them the next day or that same day. And then, if you loved that material, wait until you see what you get with her $100 product or with her personal service or whatever. So those are probably the quickest, depending on your business. It might make sense to go ahead and take the step of reach out and do some advertising with targeted ads to your market. And even though that'll be your cold market, as long as you make your ad irresistible to them, give them content, be compelling, do an awesome sales letter, but not selling, but showing that you understand about them. And I'm going to refer you to other videos that I've done, one about writing and one that I'm going to be doing after this Friday. You can look for it. Another one on speaking, which I'm doing with my partner Joy Grace Harmony, because in there, well, and look at all of my stuff is based on the foundation. So where is the money now? Waiting for you to see they have a need and to serve them and to ring the cash and to say cha-ching, to ring the cash register. Because it's when you see a need and you serve that person, don't sell them. You don't have to sell them. But you say, oh my gosh, this person is hurting. I have the perfect way to heal that soreness, to overcome that pain. And that's how you make your money. So I hope that answered your question, Joy, maybe, and then some. Of course, how to do it is unique to each particular kind of business. And again, to remind you, you can always email me, and I may just speak to your email in this Money Monday member meeting session. Say that 5 times fast, I dare you. So until next time, this is Barbara Lorraine, CashCowU.com, or I am the Cash Cow Girl. Kathy complains she wants to be the Cash Cow Girl, but no, I am the Cash Cow Girl, helping people get more of what they want out of life by turning business into a cash cow for you. Until next time, Barbara Lorraine signing off.